Piers or even Beyonce, go back to the Elvis, Beatles, Stones. The thing they all had was they did stuff that was pushing the boundaries. And Miley's not Hannah Montana anymore. She's a 20-year-old woman who wants to express herself as an artist. And I get that. But you also know a lot of people have hated what she did. They think it's outrageous. They wanted to stay little sweet Hannah Montana. What do you say to those people who perhaps were huge fans of Hannah Montana and feel uncomfortable about the direction she's taken?
Well, that's what music is supposed to do, is make you feel. You know, that's what music is supposed to do. And you can either love it or hate it. That's everyone's right to do so because it's art. Miley, again, you know, I think that she could have went out and sang the song in a flannel shirt and a pair of jeans, and it would have still been just as strong. Would we have been here talking about it right now?
It wouldn't have had the same effect.
No, we wouldn't have been
talking about it. What she did, I think, is she married a great song with a brilliant marketing campaign. I want to play a clip. This is from a new documentary she's made, which hasn't been released yet, but it has the moment in which she talks about the build-up to what happened.
You're always going to make people talk. You might as well make them talk for like 2 weeks rather than 2 seconds.
See, I love that because what that shows is somebody who's really thought this through. She didn't want to make just a small impact. She wanted to make a global impact which lasted several weeks, and boy, did she do that. Now, right now today, Miley Cyrus, #1 in America and #1 in pretty much every country in the Western world. Job done from a pop marketing point of view.
Well, you know, Miley is a very, very smart young lady, and reinvention is tough. You know, it's that intangible. You either find it or you don't, and sometimes it takes that evolution. As my buddy Carl Perkins said, you know, finding your sound, that's the intangible. That's the part that you can't buy. You either find it and you have it or you don't. Miley has been around a lot of the greats like Dolly who have went through that continual process of reinvention. Miley's smart enough to know that to come out of the shadows of Hannah Montana, it really takes something extremely drastic, which when you go to that level, it creates passion, and passion is either love or hate, but there's no middle of the road for passion.
Does she have any regrets about it, or is she loving every second of the mayhem it's caused?
She's been so busy. Like, I mean, every single night she's in the studio, she's writing, she's creating, she's rehearsing for this big show up in Vegas.
Right? Being with the family.
It's been so great.
In fact, she's probably watching tonight, so we should really, Miley, if you're watching, keep it going. But we're watching the video there from Wrecking Ball. I mean, let me ask you, as a dad, I'm a dad, just had a little baby girl. She's nearly 2 years old. So I'm going to go through all this when she's in her teens and stuff. And I don't know how comfortable I will feel if I see my girl suddenly turning into a twerker. What is it like for the dad in you? Not the artist, but the dad, Billy Ray, to watch his girl on stage, not wearing many clothes, doing the twerking, and then the wrecking ball and so on.
Piers, let me warn you, it gets even stranger when that little girl becomes a young lady.
Right.
And then you go on Twitter and you see where people have put her on top of your head. and I've seen the craziest things, again, just looking at it. And I get a laugh out of it, too. Like, I've seen some crazy stuff. Twitter, I think, has just been, it's the universal language. I mean, you stay in touch, again, with the love and the hate, but that's people's emotions.
Does any of it make you feel uncomfortable, though, as a dad, or not?
As a dad?
Yeah.
Not really, because I
was curious. I was watching it myself, thinking, I think this is brilliant. But I was thinking, if I was Billy Ray, and I've got the pleasure of getting to know you pretty well, I just wonder what the dad in you feels, whether you can celebrate the glory of the pop moment, but also be a little bit like, blimey, my girl's grown up.
There she is. That's very accurate there. Then, you know, for me to think how hard she's worked to get to this point, and what a risk. Just the fact that she went and cut her hair off. That was huge. She could have stayed Hannah Montana forever and made a great living doing that, but she's more of an artist than that, and she wanted to evolve, and she had to take her time, let that evolution take place. And again, she's very, very smart, and she's had all of this thought out in advance. There's been times where I've seen, you know, things going on with Miley. She knows the chart. She set a path. She knew what she wanted to do. And in today's world, the shock factor is tremendously higher than it used to be.
But also with Miley, I always feel that it's not like we see her stumbling out of nightclubs or in some sort of scandal or, you know, the sort of sex, drugs, rock and roll stuff you might see with Lindsay Lohan and the others. I've not seen that side to her. I mean, have I missed it all, or is she actually pretty good as a
She's
daughter?
never been arrested, you know. She's really very focused and loves what she's doing. That's the main thing for me as a dad, to see my little girl doing what she loves, making the music that she loves to make, and hanging out with some incredibly talented producers, singers, songwriters. I know what I'm talking about.
On a personal level,
Fill in the word.
Did you get angry about when people go after Miley, given she is only 20 and they attack her? You've seen the Twitter stuff sometimes.
Oh, God.
A lot of it's very positive, but a lot of it's vicious.
Oh, Lord. I'm her daddy, you know. I think at times, you know, being her dad, I may take it a little more serious. That's my daughter, you know. But I have had to learn, you know, just stay focused on what you love. Do what you do because you love it. Be thankful and grateful for the fans that you have that do appreciate the art that you make. And you know what? Again, you know, for every action there is an opposite and equal reaction.
Do you
know,
think she'd be the biggest pop star in the world, though? I mean, she's been famous, but this is like a whole new level, isn't it?
It does seem like a whole new level. And yeah, she has been very famous, but she has risen to a whole new level. And I thought I'd seen it all until these last couple of weeks, and the whole thing just kind of went to a whole new level.
Well, I think she's terrific, Miley
Thank
Cyrus.
you very much.
I think
Thank you. I think she is too.
Brilliant bit of pop marketing. I think she's got great parents and she's got a great plan and she's having fabulous success. So long may she continue. Let's take a break. Let's come back and talk about other things. You were telling me you watched the